Hello, I am Erica Champion Wise, and you get to see me in my natural habitat today. Very comfy clothes. It's the weekend here. Very comfy clothes, and here we go. But that's okay. This is real life, and real entrepreneurs can work whatever they want, wearing whatever they want. It's cool. So, I want to chat today about turning your pity party into a praise party. What? Yes, yes. Some days we have to turn our own pity parties into praise parties because it's really easy to drop down into the woe is me pity party. No one loves me, no one helps me, no one wants to be a part of my business. I'm so sad, pity me, pity me. And I get it. I was literally there last night. I had a pity party for myself. I threw my own pity party. It happens, and yeah, it just happens sometimes. The beautiful thing is that it doesn't have to last long. You don't have to set up shop and live there forever. You can have short pity parties. You can. You can. I'm not going to tell you you can't have pity parties because sometimes we need to feel sorry for ourselves and then we need to get over it. And so here's what I do to turn my pity into praise. And if you don't know me very well, I have a very deep relationship with Jesus and do a lot of praise and worship. If you come into my house, it's 9 times out of 10 it's going to be praise and worship, and I might be dancing around my office having a little praise party. You just don't know what you're going to find when you come in my house. Anyway, and so I believe in the power of praise. And when you're stuck neck deep in pity for yourself, it's really hard to praise. And I will be the first one to admit that it is very difficult to praise when you're struggling. So here is where I start. I'm very unorthodox. I'm very Erica. And so take what you want from this, take what works for you, and make it yours. Own it, tweak it, change it, see if it works for you. This works for me. So the first thing that I do is I get it all out. I just get it out. I can't hold it in. I used to hold it in and it would like poison my soul. I swear. I was like poisoning myself because I wouldn't let go of what I needed to let go of. And so I will either journal it out, sometimes I'll write it on other pages and burn them because I need it to go away. I have been known to yell at God. I just get it out one way or the other. Let me give you a little caveat about yelling at God. He's a big guy. He's got this. You can be angry. He will not kick you out of the club. Okay? It's okay to be angry at God. You can be angry, just don't sin, right? Anger is not a sin. It's what you do in anger that's the sin. That's my aside for that. Anyway, and so I get it out. I let myself release everything I'm holding. And then I can breathe again. Because for whatever reason, it feels like there's just an elephant sitting on my chest when it's so heavy. Once it's out, then I can breathe and then I can think straight and then I can just move to the next point. But if I sit there, if I sit in that anger, if I sit in that sadness, if I sit in that pity, if I sit in that no one loves me, no one cares for me, no one wants to help me mess, I'm never coming out. And so once I let that out and move through that portion, then I can do something. But if I try to cover up the mess with a pretty rug of praise, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me because the mess is still under there and it's still bubbling and it is going to come out one way or the other. And the longer I wait, the worse it gets. So I have learned for me, let it out, girl. Let it out. And I'm not letting it out on anyone else. I don't call my mom and not anymore. I used to. But that doesn't help me. That just sends me further down. I try not to take it out on my husband. Sometimes I fail on that one. I'll be honest. Poor guy, he carries a lot. Sometimes I fail, but I do my best not to take it out on my husband. And I let everything out. Once it's all out, once I'm like cleaned out, fresh start kind of thing, then, then I'm able to turn my mind and realize how blessed I really am. Then I'm able to go to my gratitude lists. That's when I move to my gratitude list. But like I said, if I just try to cover the mess with a pretty throw rug of praise and gratitude, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. It might work for you. It doesn't work for me. And so then I move into my gratitude list. And it kind of just depends on what I need that time, whether I write my lists or I speak my list or I do both, or I go for a walk and I talk through my gratitude or I pray through my gratitude. It just kind of all depends on what I need. But that's when I move into listing out loud, on paper, what have you, my gratitude. I have to move into that point where I think about, write down what goes right for me. What is good for me? How life really is good for me. And I remind myself, this is just a moment. This is just a 20-minute pity party. It is not the end of your world. It is just a step. It is just like that much in like the grand scheme of time. You're okay. Life isn't over. People really do love you. May not feel like it right now, but we know facts aren't always feelings, and you got this. So I move through that gratitude into talking to myself. And then I feel better. Then I can turn on the praise. And then I can be excited about the things that I do have, about the things that are going right, about the things that are fabulous in my life, instead of just seeing the things that aren't working out right now. So there is that. Now, one thing I want you to be wary of is shame. Gotta be careful of shame. Gotta be careful of shame. Don't go down the road of feeling ashamed for feeling angry. Anger is a normal emotion. Pity, also a normal emotion. All of the emotions that you feel during that time are human, are normal. Do not allow yourself to feel shame for feeling them. Now, if you act on those feelings and you do dumb stuff, that's a totally different world. But if you were just feeling the feelings, don't feel ashamed. Oh, I shouldn't feel. You're feeling what you're feeling, deal with it. Okay? Don't go down the road of shame. That creates a whole different like pity party that we ain't got time to go through. And when your mind starts to tilt that way, say, no, guys, we're not going down that road of shame. We have nothing to be ashamed of. We're human, we're normal, we feel feelings. It's okay. Pop it back. Come back over here. Redirect your mind back into the gratitude. So don't allow yourself to go down the road of feeling ashamed for feeling what you're feeling. Don't feel shameful about feeling your feelings, right? I know it's a lot of feelings and it's a lot all at one time, but it's very normal for us to feel ashamed of what we're feeling. What you feel is what you feel. Deal with what you feel. Don't let the shame come in. Move through your process. And the more you practice moving through that process, the faster it will become. My pity party lasted about an hour last night. About an hour. And I woke up this morning, ready to roll. Because I've practiced. The first few times you go through this process, it's not going to be easy. And sometimes the bigger the reason for the pity party, the harder the process will be. But trust this. Go through the process. It works every time, and it will work for you. Have a great day.